And also, Jason, just so you know, when it comes to my, I guess, analytical style, it usually takes me a minute or two to kind of gather enough of my thoughts to comment, because you kind of there are, I guess you could say, two general styles. The more like kind of uh I guess more like what I'd say my style is, which is, again, like I'll take like a minute to really separate my thoughts. Like for instance, like I won't always like pause to comment on like individual tiny mistakes. I'll try to find things that are consistent errors that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I try to watch them like that as well. Like look at big general issues that I have instead of like, oh, this interaction I could have done like an up tilt instead of whatever I did.
Right, exactly. So it's like, yeah, so you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you. So Jason, one thing I'm noticing so far, and again, I'll comment on this a little more if I see the trend
Yeah.
continue more consistently. But one thing that it seems like is happening, and kind of what tipped me off on this, is just how you kind of kept running into a lot of his projectiles. You
Yep.
generally are pairing, like there are parts like when he's in the corner where you will hedge your bets a little bit, like you don't overcommit. You'll like kind of space a forward air, in case he like, you're trying to cover a lot of options. But there are other times where it seems like almost every time you hold in, almost every time you press forward, you pair a forward movement with an attack. And so what I mean is, it kind of seems like your friend is, he kind of is able to. I guess it's almost like your attacks, your offensive maneuvers are uniquely telegraphed by the fact that you're holding in. So I guess another way to say that would be, like, instead of like using some of your movement, and instead of trying to like put pressure on him so far, it kind of seems like every time you have an opportunity, you just kind of rush in with an attack.
Yeah. Like
And
if I move forward, I'm always swinging.
right, exactly. And so I'll let me keep watching, and I'll try to give more detailed commentary on that. But that's like my initial observation.
Okay. Yeah.
So here, let me rewind a bit. Nope. Okay. So I guess one question I have is there any particular reason that's because you used quick attack a few times, but is there any
Yeah.
particular reason that you don't use quick attack more to make entries?
Um, my friend also plays Pikachu, so sometimes when I like in the past when I quick attack, he would oftentimes like call me out with like an up tilt. So this was just sort of like because I play him a lot,
Mhm.
I know that I try to when I try to use quick attack, I try to catch his catch his like dash lag. So sometimes I know that he's not gonna move and he's just gonna up tilt if he thinks I'm gonna quick attack or something.
Mhm.
So I that's why I try not to do it too much. And also I feel like this might be kind of a dumb reason, but I feel like it's a little bit Wi-Fi to quick attack from halfway across the stage all the time.
So yeah, it's I understand what you're saying there.
Yeah.
But um, so that being said, I actually don't know. Is Hero's up tilt? Is that can Hero punish quick attack on reaction if it hits his
Oh,
shield with up tilt?
Uh, no, he can't. So if I hit his shield, I won't die because his only out of shield that can really punish me is up B because it's frame 7 I think, and everything else he wouldn't be able to do on reaction because he'd have to drop shield something,
Hmm.
and I don't think he'd be able to react like adequately on Wi-Fi at least.
Okay.
So technically no.
Gotcha. Okay. So the next thing I was gonna say, I'm gonna watch this next one just so I can again have more of a sample to go off of. But
Yeah.
just so in case I forget, so anyone who's in chat or you, Jason, can remind me to kind of pursue this line of thought is that one thing that Pikachu's do tend to do if they find that quick attack, like they'll tend to think of their entry tools in a very concrete way. And what I mean is they'll look at, say, quick attack. They'll look at quick attack as a way to score a hit rather than as something to threaten the opponent to make them do something else. So the example I always use as Ganon is even though Wizard's Foot is kind of a crappy move, it's at least good enough that people expect it at a certain range. And when they're expecting it, it's almost like the threat of the move is more valuable than the move itself. So, for instance, when I play against Pikachu, I'm always like throwing out Nairs as Ganon to snuff, like preemptively snuff quick attacks. But the Pikachu I play often, his name's Mata. He's really good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what he'll do is counterplay to that is he'll try to shield my Nair. He'll run up, shield my Nair, then shield grab me for it. So he basically, uses the threat of his quick attack to score a hit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that I actually just watched that video last night, so I understand what you're saying.
Was that the threat ranges
Yeah, that
video?
one.
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and watch this one. And let me
Well,
actually just.
I get cheesed really hard this game. I got hit by 2 snoozes.
um, Here, let me just make sure I'm not missing what anyone's trying to say to me. Um, okay, yeah. Oh, and Masterson, thank you. I should probably go full screen, huh? Okay. Nope, kaboom. I hate that move so much.
Yeah, a bad DI too. Died at like 65%. It's a good move.
Okay, so that's one thing that I noticed that happened last match is whenever you land with Nair, you'll usually pair it with a grab. And that's something that, I mean, obviously is a Pikachu thing. It's a mix-up. But for whatever it's worth, one thing that's, and again, this is something that I notice a lot of Pikachus do, and this is actually how I am able to get out of a lot of sort of like sticky situations against the Pikachu I play a lot. He will always try to go for pseudo guaranteed things like the nair to grab or something like that. And what that always lets me do, so it's like he always expects me to do a certain thing, and instead of like hitting me with something like a nair and then thinking, oh, he's gonna panic option, he always goes for like a grab or something, or like an up tilt, and that almost always lets me just roll away to safety. And that's kind of what your friend seems to be doing here a lot of the time, is like right here, whenever you get like, you know, what feels like should be a confirm with Pikachu, you'll go for like one of those grabs and he'll like always roll away. Or like, of the 3 or 4 times I've seen that happen so far, he'll just roll away. So maybe just something to consider is that when you do hit people with that, that might be a particular area you want to pay attention to, like something you want to sort of like carve out a place for, and what you devote your active attention to in the match. Like, okay, I've done the nair, what does the opponent do after I've naired? You know, instead of like, you know, assuming that, you know, they'll always just, you know, some people will get hit by the grab because they'll just hold shield, and other people will roll, and it just, you know, if you don't already do this, that might be one thing to devote special attention to, is how people behave when you land a nair on them.
Okay. So one thing with that is that so I missed the turnaround grab there, but nair does actually like true confirm into both grab and up tilt. But if I, let's say I'm unsure if I know like which way they SDI'd, or if they SDI'd up to make it more difficult, would it still be worth it to like try to be like, okay, I see that like my nair probably won't confirm. Let's see what he does instead of trying to like force the confirm.
Gotcha. Okay, so so that being said, assuming someone has just like godlike SDI, you basically, it's a true confirm, but you have to react to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So that might be something that's, you know, because I've never, you know, spent long periods of time playing Pikachu,
Of course.
but so I don't exactly know how hard it is to react. But I mean, based on my experience, again, playing Mata almost never gets like he sometimes gets like nair loops on me with that, but he is usually like, I'm usually able to get out of them pretty reliably, because it seems like with good SDI it makes it like really hard to react to.
It is, yeah. That's
so
correct.
yeah, like you were saying, kind of evaluate whether or not this is, you know, something that this person is making it too hard to react to, so I'm just going to kind of try to read their option after.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Nice read on that
Thanks.
roll. Oh yeah, there's the snooze.
Yeah.
That's happened to me so many times.
It's so tragic. Shouldn't have jumped, right?
Was that gonna crit? Oh no, it didn't have to crit.
No, it just kills. I was
Okay.
like, no, I deserved it for jumping.
So, yeah, so basically, and I mean, you probably don't need me to tell you this, but yeah, the past 2 matches, a few things one of the things I've noticed is just general impatience. Like, as I remarked, one of my first remarks was just that you tend to pair every movement is paired with an attack. And that seems to...
this was actually, I sent the wrong one here. It should be the latest one, the Town and City game. I sent it the most recently.
Okay.
Like it would be like that one. Yeah, this was the third game.
Okay. Here, let me
Sorry
go
about
ahead. No, that's okay. Let me go ahead and open all of them here.
And then the last two would be the yeah.
Okay. Let me rewind something real quick. Sorry, one more time. Okay, so I'm assuming that when you thunder jolt his shield, do you tend to like, or I guess I won't give you any. I won't suggest anything just yet, but so when you throw thunder jolts, like what are you trying to get out of the thunder jolts?
So this is bad because I've been playing Pikachu for a long time, but this is something that I've been trying to think about more recently.
Mm-hmm.
So when I throw thunder jolt on shield, or when I throw a thunder jolt in general, I'm trying to see if they're gonna jump or if they're gonna shield or if they're gonna try to parry it or something.
Mm-hmm.
So against him, because Hero's up is really good, and it's kind of hard for me to follow up online a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So like even if he shields it, I'll get hit by the up B. So here I was trying to bait out either a spot dodge or catch the jump after he shields it, or like catch the up B or something,
Mm-hmm.
and he just jumped out before my forward smash came out.
Gotcha. So one thing, let me take one more look here. So, I feel like one thing, and this, I feel like this makes a big difference whenever I play Pikachu. I find it to be a lot easier. So when you throw Thunder Jolt, it seems like you throw the Thunder Jolt, and then you let it travel a little bit, and then you try to enter. And the Pikachus that I fought that have given me the most trouble, I feel like, here, let me just make sure I'm not talking out of my butt here.
Yeah, they'll follow it closer so that they can actually get something off of it, get more off of it, right?
Yeah, so they'll like the Pikachus I noticed they'll smother me. So like when you give people that gap between the Thunder Jolt and when you make your entry, like here, let's see here. Sorry, one more time. So yeah, it's in that case it looked like you kind of hesitated a little bit, and I guess what am I trying to say? So is there any particular reason why instead of just like throwing a Thunder Jolt or throwing a forward air preemptively, you kind of hesitated there?
I generally, or I think I try to run him with my T-Jolt a lot, but sometimes he will just swing because Hero's Sword like if it hits the T-Jolt, it'll extend the hitbox, and then I'll just die a lot of the time.
Gotcha.
So sometimes I won't run as closely with T-Jolts just to see what I can like if I'm gonna like run into it or something,
Mm-hmm.
because that's something that I know like because I agree with you that running in with T-Jolts is the way that you're gonna get the most off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they know that you're always gonna run in with it, if they just swing it'll like with a sword or something, it'll go through or if he has Kafriz, it'll just go through and then I'll die because I'll be in dash lag.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me take one more look at it.
No, that makes sense though. Like, I don't commit to T. Like, I have trouble sometimes because I'm not sure when to full commit with T jolts a lot of the time. Because sometimes I feel like I'll throw in T jolt and I'll run really hard in, and then I'll end up giving up stage because I'll just get hit for it because I went too hard. So then sometimes I worry like how to use it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Because yeah, like I said, what I'm thinking of is just a lot of the thunder jolts I've seen you throw. You tend to kind of you cover the space where you think he's gonna be, but he almost always jumps away. And that's something that that's not really something you can do a ton about without like really committing to reading. But like I said, just in my past experience with Pikachus that have the ones that have given me the most trouble, they tend to. It's really the timing of the Thunder Jolt and how they time their entry in conjunction with the Thunder Jolt. Like if they throw the Thunder Jolt, wait for it to travel, and then hit my shield, and then try to read the option I pick after, that's when it gets harder to kind of convert off of it. But when they follow it, a little bit more closely, and sometimes they